Hey, it's Jeff here. Welcome to NEBR, New England Beer Reviews. From New Hampshire, Rockingham Brewing Company. This is their Red Dragon Belgian-style quad, aged in Chianti barrels, 11.9% alcohol by volume. I have had this one more than once. In fact, I think I even talked about it once on an old Facebook page that no longer exists I used to operate, which featured short video reviews. So this is my first time for YouTube on this one. I visited the brewery today. It's been around, I'd say since sometime in the mid-2010s or so. And I've been there a few times. I haven't been there in a few years. So this first came out in 2020, I believe. I think that's the first time I had it. So here we go. I'm going to talk about it now. The perfect libation when having an old friend for dinner is what it says on the back here. So, I already opened it up because as you can see it came with a wax top. And with a wax top I didn't feel like struggling in front of the camera trying to dig through that before I peeled it off before I could pop the cap. So let's give it a pour. And we'll see what this is all about. Again, this is not a new beer for me, but it's the first time I've had it in a few years, I will say that. So, there we go. How's that? So it's down here. First time I've done a review on the outside in quite some time, I think. So take a look. You can see that's got a brown tone mostly with a short mocha head and maybe a little hints of amber red or more of a cherry red right around the edges there. So that's the color. And let's check out the aroma. Now this one's always I found to be a unique quad because I've had this one before. I don't want to sound like a redundant record, but I know it's got a different sort of character to it than some I've had. And right away I noticed this sort of cherry sensation and almost like a very fruity, tart, fruity sensation. Along with a kind of a chocolatey character, a cocoa kind of character. So a malt forward sort of character as well. But there's this kind of fruity tartness going on as well. Wow, let's taste it. Definitely got this sort of very smooth, medium to full body. Very creamy, very soft body. I really enjoy the texture of that body. Again, the taste is also very malt forward with kind of a chocolate or cocoa sensation up front. Not as Belgian-y as, I hate to use that word Belgian-y, because there are some certain characteristics of Belgian-style quads. Maybe a type of candied sugar sweetness going on, but then what I'm also getting is more of that cherry tartness too. But I do like this. I mean, it's definitely a very nice beer. 11.9, so I don't pick up the booze immediately, but I am just getting kind of a sort of a fruity character at the end, like a fruity bitterness at the end. But again, it leans toward cherry and sort of a red grape sort of character. Those red fruits, what it reminds me of, with a bit of a tart sensation, but not pucker up tart, just a hint of tart characters. Lingers a bit on the palate at the end with those cherry characteristics. It's really a nice beer, I'm going to say. I really do like it. Of course, I really like the stuff that Rockingham puts out. I've had many of their beers over the years. And they're still going. They still have an operation. And unfortunately here in New Hampshire, like so many other craft breweries around the country, we're seeing more places closing or cutting back on their production or focusing on different styles. There's another brewery near them, near Rockingham, called From the Barrel, which is going to be closing. By the time you see this video, it may have already been closed. They have announced they're closing, and if you go back on the history of my channel, you'll see I did a few FTB From the Barrel beers over the years. So it's just a sad state of affairs, but Rockingham still puts out some nice beers. I still see them in the stores too, the local New Hampshire stores. You don't see some of the craft breweries that seem to be fading in New Hampshire. You don't see them in the stores as much. You kind of have to go to the brewery to get them. But in this case, I still see Rockingham. They have a few standard cans that they put out. I'm still seeing those on the shelves of certain better, I'll put better beer stores. But I like this sort of caramel chocolatey cocoa thing that's going on. I like this cherry tart thing that's going on. I like the texture of this body. It's very, very nice, very smooth. So let's talk about rating it in some way, shape, or form. Trying to compare it to other quads. Well, it's definitely different from a lot of quads. It seems less in the area of the of what you might say the Belgian style, boldness of a quad, the real malt forward character. The darker fruits seem to be sort of secondary, so this team focuses more on a tart fruit character. So comparing it to some other quad that I really, really like Abbott 12 or something like that, this is not as sweet as that. So let's see if I can give it a number, but it's still a very excellent beer for what it is. It's very nicely done, and I like it quite a lot. So let's see if I can rate this some way. Looks good. The smell is appealing. The taste is a little tart but very appealing. Body's appealing. So it's an appealing beer. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. 90 out of 100. A minus. How's that? That sounds pretty good as far as I'm concerned. So that'll do it for now. This is from Rockingham Brewing Company of New Hampshire, and this is their Belgian-style Quadruple Ale. Thanks for watching NEBR. I'll catch you again next time.